What's going on, everyone? Hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how I create fills and how you can effectively transition from your build up to your drop. And this technique's going to work for breaks and just fills for everything, but particularly I'm going to work from the build up to a drop. So here's a quick preview. You guys heard what I'm about to make you, which is kind of weird. I didn't make it yet, but here's what it sounds like without anything. So we're going straight from the build up to the drop. The first thing we have to do is create space. And what I mean by create space is we have to kind of just figure out where we want to start the fill at. Do we want to start it a bar back, a half bar, two bars? It just depends. So what I recommend doing is just looping the second half of your build up and just play it back a couple of times and just see what sounds good. So what I'm thinking here for this one is I want to cut it off one bar back. Now we do have a vocal here, which makes it a lot easier, so you can kind of get a feel for it. But we're gonna cut it off right here. So it's gonna be like this. So first things first, we have to eliminate everything in this final bar, and we'll just name this fill so it's easier to see what we're working with. So that's where the fill is going to be. We have to either delete or shorten everything, and we can't just delete everything. We can't just drag everything back because some elements here aren't, if we shorten it, it's going to actually take away what it's doing, and I'll show you guys in a second what I mean. So this guitar we can just cut out. The bass we can drag it back. Most of the stuff here we're just going to be cutting it out, honestly, but there's just a few things that we can't necessarily shorten like that. Snaps, cut all of this out. This is all we're doing, just creating some space, everything. But here's the first example of what we need to actually drag back and not cut out. This rise. So this white noise sounds like this. If we cut it out like this, it's just going to be a low volume and it's not going to have the actual effect of what we're looking for in that riser. So what we have to do is drag it back and then cut out the back end of it actually. So it's gonna be like this now. Stop right there instead of it stopping at a lower volume. Final, we could cut it. Same for this riser right here. So this one is the end of it. That's where the main riser is. If we cut it out just like this, we're just gonna get this. We don't want that. So just drag it back a little bit and we are good. Now we can just add in some sort of rhythmic element. And the rhythmic element is usually going to be drums. For this example, I'm going to use what I have in this song already. So right now we got this. We just pretty much have, I'll shorten this too. We pretty much just have silence, which could sound pretty cool. But for right now, we're going to add some more elements. So we kind of have that tension. We built up that tension, paused it, and then dropped it at the drop. But there's still not like a really clear transition. So what I'm going to do is just create some sort of fill here. And I like to start with some kind of impact on the fill. And obviously it's going to vary on your song, what you like. But I'm going to show you guys my thought process behind this. So we're going to start off with the impact. I think I want to do like a Z style, like a... So we're going to have multiple impacts, the same one. So we're going to drag that, something like this maybe. Let's see how... Could be cool. I want to make it go like this. In my head I have... So it's going to be... So it's kind of like a tom, but we're going to do it with some other effects. So I have a sample over here. So in my Medusa pack, there's a few cool little transition effects. I like these like sword. It's just like two knives being rubbed together. But we're going to drag that in. And by the way, all the presets and all the samples in this song are from that Medusa pack. So if you guys are interested, you guys can check it out down below. But we're gonna put this right. Let's see. We're gonna put this right. There we go. And we're gonna layer it with the clap for the drop too, so we can kind of give it a little more beef, I guess you could say. But just like actually put out this last little hit. This little perks right here. It's like a little mouth pop, so we can put this back a little bit. Kind of sounds weird doubles. We might take that one out, but So it's sounding pretty good rhythmically. We have a lot of, we're keeping it going. So we're not really pausing here. We're just keeping it going from the build up to the fill to the drop. So there's not a lot of downtime. But one thing, it doesn't really transition well yet. What we're gonna do is copy the bass, and then we can go to our mixer, and then in here we could find it, and then let's find our bass. Then all we have to do is arm the disc recording, go Alt R. Now this is gonna give us the sample of the bass. It is sidechain, probably should have took that off, but it's gonna do for right now. But we can reverse that now, and then we can normalize it, go in a little bit to make it rise up, and then we could add a little, put this in the mix, add a little volume automation now. And this is just going to transition that bass line into the drop. And it's a good way to not really tease the bass, but it's just a good way to just transition some sort of element from the drop into the build. If you guys have a lead, like a lead synth, or if you guys have like some chords. So for example, we could probably do this guitar. Could do that too. But in this drop, we just have a vocal. Just have a vocal. So we're just going to do the main part, which is the bass right here. So now it sounds like this. But I want to make it a little cooler, so let's actually do the wave. And then we can just kind of make it go. Kind of have to dial it in if you do that. And there we go. This is how you can create space for your fill, create some rhythm there just to keep it going, and then transition that into the drop. And one more thing I want to do actually is layer some sort of clap on this hit. I feel like it's a little weak. So we got this here now. We're going to cut it out like this. We're going to cut it out, create a little volume automation, volume down right there. And then maybe we're just going to smoothen it out like that. And then we can even reverse this as well. So we could reverse, go like this, another volume automation. And it's really a matter of trial and error, guys. Like it's really, you're going to hear things that you want in there, but for the most part, you're going to just be throwing in samples, trying different things, and just finding what works for your song, because it's going to vary song to song. There we go, that's a little better. So here's what it sounds like just going naturally from the build up to the drop. So let's take a quick listen. And there we go. That's how you can effectively create fills for your songs. You want to create space, have some sort of rhythm, and then have some sort of transition element. In this case, that was that reverse bass. We have that transition element that brings us, sucks us into the drop. You guys can check out all of my sounds and samples at klingmusic.com down below. You guys can follow me on Instagram at @theklingmusic. And that wraps up this video. Hope you guys got something from this, and I'll talk to you guys in the future. Peace.